Hello, hello, everyone. What is going on? We are back. All right. So, markets are obviously having a good day. Sorry, I'm trying to get my microphone. I'm just going to leave this pop filter off for now. Trying to get my microphone all situated here. So, uh, I'm back. It's been a little while since I streamed. I was down bad with the flu. So, but my fever finally broke yesterday, and now it's Monday, and I'm back to work. So, thought I would hop on stream today and go over my position right now for Nvidia and Fortinet. But Nvidia's up huge right now today. We're up about $1,500 on Nvidia, so not too bad. And then up about 1,600 on the day overall. So Fortinet is having, well, Fortinet's actually pretty flat today, but there must be implied volatility increase in IV for Fortinet because my position's up. And then Trade Desk is having an awesome day. This is another stock I recommended at the beginning of the month, and you can see it's up 4.5%. So pretty sweet. So this month is really playing out well across all my positions. Um, very pleased. So I thought I'd just hop on. I had some downtime today, and wanted to just go over the market while it's live. I am kind of shocked at how well Nvidia's. I mean, I'm not like shocked, but I am happy about the way Nvidia's performing so far this month. And we do have earnings coming up, so it's gonna be a little bit of a gamble. I'm hoping the earnings are gonna come in good, and the price action around earnings are either flat or to the upside. I don't want to see any drastic drop. That's all I'm asking for with Nvidia. And if it spikes on earnings, that's just the cherry on top. But literally right where the price is right now, like we could stay right here where we are for the rest of the month, and I'm a happy camper. I definitely met my goal, or my expectations have been met or exceeded with this position for the month. So, yeah. Just kind of drew like a trend line for the month here. Doesn't mean anything, but if we follow this rate of growth on Nvidia, we should be somewhere around like $800 by the end of the month. Not saying that's going to happen. It most likely won't happen because we've been going up for so long now, almost like 2 months. Um, Eventually, this thing's got to start coming down and sell off. Profits are going to be taken. So, but for now, it's just status quo. I think we're just running up into earnings, and hopefully, earnings treat us well. I don't do too many midday streams, but today I thought I would. More of a nightly streamer, if you you guys have been around long enough. But so far, we're doing good this year. My total P&L for the year is around $13,700. So, and we're barely mid-month of, we're only halfway into February, second month of the year. So, doing really well. But nothing's concrete until we sell, right? So right now, all these profits that you're seeing on my screen are just paper. It's paper profits. It's not an actual profit until you sell. And of course, I'm holding this trade for another month. Well, 2 weeks, right? So we have one. Basically, I'm going to be selling this position on the 29th. So should give us plenty of time to have some runway to the upside here. But Nvidia is just, look at this chart, man. It broke out of this 500 range, shot straight up to 600, and went from 600 to 700 just as fast. So the money is piling on in. You would think with this spike in volume here, we would have seen a reversal, right? Usually with a spike in volume, you see a reversal or the start of a move. Like back here on November 22nd is a good example, right after earnings, right? You had a big spike in volume here, and you started fading off. Back here too, you had a big spike in volume after a couple days of selling, and you continued to fade. Here you had a big spike in volume. Not the biggest, but pretty large enough to notice, and yeah, price just keeps pushing up. And right now, Nvidia is hitting, well, it's not hitting all-time highs on the day, but it's at all-time highs, yes. So, pretty neat. So if you guys don't know, this position right now on Nvidia is up 296%. And my Fortinet is up 55%. So, not bad. Just a nice, simple swing trade. Textbook swing trade. So, if I went ahead and sold my positions right now, I would make about $9,000 for the month. That's a lot of money. $9,000 per month is what? $108,000 a year. That's income. That's real money. So just shows you that swing trading is possible. You just gotta have a plan, and you have to have intentions when you go into a trade. Really liking Trade Desk. I kind of wish I got into this one as well. I think this one's performing the best aside from Nvidia. It's definitely beating out Fortinet, although Fortinet's been doing great too. But just shows you that seasonality. Like if you follow seasonality, you're able to take advantage of gains like this. I am getting concerned that Nvidia is far extended. I know there's a psych level right here at 800 is pretty huge. I like, as much as I hate to do this, like I would sell at 800, but with my luck, I'd sell at 800, and then by the month end it would be at like 840. I'm just missing out on gains at that point. And it's not even like I can take some off the table. It's either I'm holding one contract of an Nvidia call option. So like It's either I'm in it or I'm out. There's no in between. But I'm hoping earnings coming good. I mean, Nvidia earnings came out. This is a competitor to, I mean, AMD earnings came out. It's a competitor to Nvidia. And they dumped after earnings 2%, 2.5%. And then, but now they're already coming back up after what, like 2 weeks? So we may just see the same thing with Nvidia, a little drop and buy back up. And if that happens, we may have enough time to stomach that because, again, I'm only holding this trade for a couple more weeks. It just shows you that what I'm doing right now is working. So if you haven't already, join the Discord. It's completely free, although that may be changing soon because I'm starting to deal with scammers. Early this morning, I was getting notifications from a couple close associates saying that they were getting fictitious direct messages from someone that was impersonating me. So I'm sorry if any of you received any scam email, or not email, scam message. That's not me at all. And unfortunately, the only way to like really combat scammers and bots like that is to put up a paywall. So it's pretty much like, all right, you wanna scam? Like pay the paywall first to get in. Give me some of your money before you try to scam me. And then once you try to scam me or try to direct message and scam, you get banned and thrown out. And I'm gonna notify everyone about you. So it's kind of like this is like one of the reasons why I didn't want to start a Discord, because I knew eventually I'd come across a scammer. I wasn't expecting a scammer to come along this quickly. My channel and community is not big at all. It's pretty close knit and small so far, and I was hoping to keep it that way. Um, but unfortunately, people try to take advantage, and the only way to really stop them, like stop 99% of the scammers, is to put up a paywall, so that it makes that monetary barrier for the scammer, and just they'd rather not pay and go on to an easier target. Because right now I'm a pretty easy target. My Discord community, you guys, without the paywall, we're a pretty easy target to scammers. But for now, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, keep everything up for free. Of course, my streams are free. I mean, I can easily put up a paywall just for the value. Not even spammers or scammers aside, I can easily put up a paywall just by the value I give out, the research and the information and the education that I put out there. Is definitely worth, I think, in my opinion, like $100 a month per person for a membership in the Discord. And of course, if you're getting value out of my education, you're bound to make some profit and easily pay back the membership that I'll be charging. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it on the back burner. I really don't want to do it, but like I make plenty of money. I mean, you could see here, like you could see I made over $9,000. This is a real account, right? Like I just have my private information hidden, of course. I don't want you guys knowing my account number, but I made 9 grand this month so far. I mean, what is it? Not even this month. The past week and a half, barely 2 weeks. I made 9 grand. Like obviously, like if I were gonna charge you guys money for a membership, like it would be peanuts compared to what I make trading. Which is why like I have my community and my content for free. But when it comes to the scammers, the only way to beat them back is to put up a paywall. And even that, sometimes they still are willing to pay a paywall to get into your community and take advantage of others. So it's kind of a tough situation. But of course, and then the other thing is like, okay, if I put up a paywall, then it's like, then the uh, streaming and my ideas and stuff, like, I'm gonna have to keep that exclusive for a certain period of time before I go public with my trade idea, right? Because now, like, if you guys are gonna be paying for something to be part of, then I gotta make my content exclusive, which is only fair. Um, which is also another benefit if you do pay because you know putting out trades for free and trades that are good, or historically tend to be good, statistically are good. Um, you can start to cause crowded trades, and people start to take advantage of that, especially big players. So again, it's like another variable. That's why that's why I see a lot of guys like they put out stuff for free and then eventually they have to start charging because too many people get into the trade, scammers come along, people take advantage, and it's just like, you know what? Like, I'm better off either charging you guys and making it worth my time and making it worth your time so that you actually get value out of it and actually understand what I'm teaching, or I just go private completely. And all my trade ideas, everything that I do 100% confidentially, completely private. Um, so it's like, what do I do? And like the third option would just to be like shut down the Discord community and just do the YouTube streams as a hobby, which that's what I'm already doing. But like the education streaming as a hobby, and you know, but not have that Discord community. Having the community Discord is really nice, but I don't know. Like the only reason why I would charge you guys for Discord membership is just to filter out the bad players, the bad actors, because there's a lot of them out there. I've been in other paid Discord groups over the couple years. I'm not in any anymore. Like I left all of them because I went out on my own and figured it out on my own because I have the knowledge and willpower. I studied this stuff. I've been doing this for like 7 years now, even longer. But professionally, 7 years. And I mean, at this point, I can provide so much value. And I've seen multiple people in my community make, you know, some of the best money they've made out there. Um, Other than like selling options or making money off of regular investments, long term holding. Um, so yeah, it's like I think there's like no gray area in the situation. It's kind of just like, all right, I'm charging you guys, and that's it. If you don't like it, like I'm sorry. Or I kind of just pull back on the information I put out there, um, in the hopes that bad actors just go away. But those bad actors are starting to funnel in. It's finally starting to happen. I knew it was going to happen, but the worst thing that could happen. I'd rather you guys pay a paywall, um, get in, and like of course like the people that are in already, I'll probably just let you guys be freebies. I won't ever charge you because you guys are like the originals. Like the 20 or so people in my Discord, I probably won't charge. But going forward, like if you want to get into the Discord going forward, I'll probably put up a paywall. Depending on how bad the scammers get, because I already got one. But if usually once you get one of them, the rest follow suit. I've seen it happen with other communities, and not even in the trading community, but like gaming communities and various discords for different purposes. It happens. If there's money, the scammers are there. They're um, just flying around your business and your ideas, trying to take advantage. It sucks. So if you're new to the stream, join up, because get into the Discord, because it may not be free, and if you get in now, you'll be a free member forever. Um, and any new people that come in later on will have to pay. Um, that's just how it's gonna be. But I'm looking to charge like around like, and then the other thing is I can't even charge like $5 a month or something like low, because the scammers will easily pay that to scam someone out of $1,000 or something. It's just cost of doing business for them. Um, in my opinion, you know, I think a value of $50 somewhere around there would probably be uh a good wall to keep the scammers to you know persuade them to stay away. Um, I mean, I've even seen communities where you pay like $20 a month to be part of, and the scammers still come in. So, like I said, like the only reason why I would charge is to keep the people. I want people in my community that are real, aren't they don't have any alternative motives or any other plans other than to learn and and get value, out real value out of my service. And my service has been free so far. So, anyways, with that being said, I want to talk about what's going on today in the markets. So, again, Dow Jones all time high, right? Like, yeah. I mean, this thing blasted. I remember marking this one, yeah, back in like December. Am I right? Hold on, let me check. Let me just make sure that, yeah. I remember marking this back in like December. And what did I say? Well, usually, when the market is down for a while and it breaks all time and it comes back up and breaks new highs after like a year or 2 years, um, the markets tend to just keep going up. I mean, you can look back through history. So, again, Dow Jones ripping, S&P. Let's look at the SPX. SPX again, new highs. The Qs and the Nasdaq again, new high. Well, they're almost gonna hit. I think the Qs did hit highs, right? Yeah, the Qs hit highs. The Nasdaq Composite is about to make new highs. It's like literally like hours, days to hours away. If we keep going up at this rate, it probably will go up higher. The Russell's still down a lot, but it's starting to turn around. It's starting to catch up. Another thing, little oddity here. I marked out this VIX level here, and marked out like this 13, like 12.50 range or $12 range to $14 range. VIX spiked. It's up 5% today, but the market's up too. That's probably why FTNT is up. My position on FTNT is up $165 today, and the stock is up 0.2%. So there's a little bit of increase in volatility. That could be because we're going into earnings for like Nvidia and some other big tech stocks and semiconductor guys. So that could be the reason for the increase in volatility. We also have CPI tomorrow, so that's another reason. So VIX is spiking just a little bit, but it's coming off a lower end of the range, so it's nothing to be concerned about. Hopefully, it just goes up a little bit and then sells off again, usually when you get those sell offs in the VIX, you get appreciation in price. So again, Nvidia blasting to the new highs today. I think it just made like a new high, like as I was speaking. It has been making new highs as I've been speaking here. So that's a good sign. Again, my position now on Nvidia is 301%. So nice risk reward on Nvidia. Fortinet. Fortinet did great for earnings, came back down, filled the gap, and now it's been trickling back up. So I'm feeling good about Fortinet. I think now that we got past earnings, and as long as we don't have any major market jitters, I think Fortinet's going to do pretty well for the rest of the month. And we should probably be, I don't know, around probably where we are now, $70 to $72, $73 on Fortinet. Could be higher, could be at 74. But I expect Fortinet to be somewhere like in this range somewhere by month end, just by looking at the chart here. Trade desk is at resistance right now, so I marked these levels a while back using volume profile. I've gone over that on streams plenty of times, but you can see we came right up to that 74.92 levels, pretty much $75, and we're just starting to create a little tiny top wick right there. So most likely, trade desk is running into resistance. Doesn't mean we're going to reverse and come back down. We could flutter around this level for a couple days and break out. We also have not a big downtrend or big diagonal line guy like this, but we are kind of breaking out of this downtrend here. I wouldn't say breaking out just yet, but we are at the upper ends. And the chance of us going up higher here are pretty good. Mind you, Trade Desk does have earnings coming up on the 15th. That would be this Thursday. So more than likely, we're going to be gyrating right where we are for Trade Desk until earnings release. And once the earnings release, we'll probably get a good move to the upside or downside. In my opinion, we'll probably go to the upside. The earnings so far have been good. Fortinet did great. Again, Fortinet's a pretty close competitor to Trade Desk. They both work in the cybersecurity realm, and Fortinet had good projections and a good quarter. So I'd expect Trade Desk to be around that same ballpark. So don't be surprised if you see Trade Desk spike up here on earnings in a few days. Yeah, keep going down the list here, but AMD not having as great of a month. They had earnings come out. They dropped a little bit, but starting to buy back up here. So that's a good sign for AMD. It looks like a nice like bull flag right here, right? So you had your arm there, and then you had your little bit of a flag. And now you're looking to start doing something like this, right? Starting to continue. So yeah. What else are we looking at? So yeah, Nvidia's the big dog right now. Again, we're up nice on Nvidia. So up 9,300 for the month. Some people have asked about my trades. Here's my performance so far since I started the channel. Sorry guys, if you're just joining, I just got over the flu yesterday literally, so I'm still coughing and have a slight runny nose. But this is my total profit so far. This is using a pretty small account. This is using a pretty small account. So since February, or since January, end of January, I've made $5,690 in profit, realized profit, not unrealized, realized profit. Now we're coming up on the end of February in a few weeks here. if we are where we are by the end of this month when I close out, I'll probably make around $9,000 in profit, which would be great to add on to this total P&L. So it'd be probably close to about $14,000 to $15,000 in total profit in the past. Let's see, opening date. So one, two, three. Well, I have a couple trades for each month here, so it'd be opening date would be one, two, three, 4, 5. So 5 months. Not bad. And this is on a small account, of course. So, um, pretty sizable gains. I think my account is up like again. I create small accounts and then go from there. I don't put all my eggs into one basket. Risk management is key, guys. I freaking preach risk management like crazy. Only risk what you're willing to lose in each trade. Um, but to be honest with you, my account is probably where did I start at? I think my account's up about like 300 to. It's up multiples. it's up. It's up at least like 300% so far. Again, on a small account, right? So, but yeah, the returns have been great so far. So, and of course, like my back testing returns, I know what those are too, and they're much greater. So that's just the power of options. Options are really, really awesome if you know how to use them. If you know how to identify market trends and patterns and take advantage of them, you can make an awful lot of money in a short period of time. But you can also lose money too, right? There's always that risk. Even if your analysis is spot on, you still lose sometimes. You can never predict the uncertainty in the markets, right? Like next week we can be invading a new country or something. You know, you don't know. Like you literally don't know what's going to happen. Especially in today's world, things are becoming more volatile. So it's just how she goes. All right. So yeah. Um, so it's been a good month so far. Been a very good month. Um, it's funny about the going back to the scammers in the Discord. I don't think these scammers realize they could probably make more money than they ever would scamming, just paying for my service and following my education and strategy. It's very ironic, but it just shows how small minded they are. I mean, there's a reason why they're scamming in the first place because they have low intelligence. So they just like to, you know, people who scam are always they're the kind of people that would always take the shortcuts in school and work and whatever else. They're fundamentally flawed people. Um, so yeah, and I know so many people that have come across my channel so far have thanked me and give me a lot of praise, and I appreciate it. And I'm not one to really like brag or boast about like my achievements or how other people perceive me, but like I know that I could, and I've seen the other channels and other communities out there that people pay for, and the value is just like the value that they provide, you can easily find on YouTube for free. Like the education part. Um, but as far as my thoughts and my strategy and that stuff, that's a little bit harder to come by, and that's where the value is, in my opinion. Um, but I'm not an expert. I'm not an advisor. I'm just a guy that likes to trade, likes finance, accounting, and just likes to talk to other like-minded individuals. That's pretty much it. But what I do really need to do is start consistently streaming more. I just have such a crazy schedule that I have to organize. I need a little bit more organizational behavior in my life. I just recently finally got like a good calendar app on my phone, so I'm starting to like plan out my life day to day. Because I tend to just like cram a bunch of work into like one session, which I guess is okay. Like it's worked for me so far, but I need to like kind of, you know, do different things throughout the day and schedule, organize because I have so many different things going on. If you guys don't know, I am a grad student at a pretty large university, and that takes up a decent chunk of my time as far as assignments go and research for those assignments. And then I also work full time. Um, I also work full time as a well, I don't want to reveal my profession or company, but I work 40 hours a week and make a decent salary, and I do have the luxury to work from home time to time. Um, that's the reason why I'm streaming right now, and also the reason why I'm not in the office is because I'm sick. Um, I've also been doing a lot of training for a new person, so it's been I've been having to go in more often than I usually do. So it's just the nature of the beast. So I'm just super busy with stuff, plus like friends and girls and all this stuff, and it's just the way how the way it goes. Um, so on the weekends, I have a social life too, and I'm not a caveman who never leaves his house or just only works. I have a life too. um, so that's why like I just need to schedule things and kind of organize myself a little bit better. So between working, social life, the YouTube, Discord, streaming stuff, trading itself, doing my own research on the side, um, and then school on top of that. It's just like I'm all over the place sometimes, and I gotta start planning things out because I could feel it already. I'm feeling the loss of control as far as my schedule goes, and that's never a good thing. It puts you into a tailspin. So gotta keep that schedule so you can keep clawing away, keep up. But like I said already, if you haven't joined the Discord, join up. Gonna be probably gonna be closing it off here, just with the amount of scammers coming in. Sucks, but hey, at least if you've been with the channel for a little while, you got it for free. A decent chunky you got in for free, so not bad, not bad at all. And like again, you know, in my opinion, if you pay for a service and you're able to, and that service allows you to become a better trader, as we all aspire to be a better trader, I think it's worth it. Um, I know people that charge like thousands of dollars, and people pay for it, and it's literally like not even that valuable. Literally information that you could find on the internet for free. So, and you can argue that stuff that I put out you can find for free too, but you know. But as far as my strategy goes, the things I do, my opinions, you're only going to find that from me. And if there are other people that do the same thing I do, they're obviously not very public about it because I haven't seen anything on the trading in the trading realm. So but I think I'm like one of the only the other part of my value is I show my real profit and loss too. Like I show my strategy, show my ideas, I show real profit and loss. I know guys who make literally millions of dollars a year running trading discords, communities that they stream on every single day, and they haven't shown their profit or loss once. Like they haven't shown what like you see the screen I'm showing you right now? They've never once shown a screen like this, and people still believe in them. And they're obviously, if you're not showing what I'm showing right now, you're scamming. Or the likelihood of you scamming is extremely high. So it's just funny. So again, like another reason why I think charging for a Discord is valid. Much as I hate to do it, but it's just getting to the point where it's like, all right, I'm putting all this information out for free just for a scammer to come along and screw it all up, which is not cool. Hard to believe how naive some people can be. Oh yeah. Oh yes. And that's the other thing. Like if you look at my YouTube videos, especially like my earlier ones, like I just rail on the people that are just taking advantage of people. And it sucks because like yeah, like if you want to learn something, like yeah, you should have to pay for it, right? Like if like I'm going to school right now, right? Like I pay for school to increase my education. Sometimes I feel dumb that I'm paying it. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't even be doing it, but I'm doing it because I want it, and if I want it, I have to pay for it. Um, you know, and that's how things usually go. Like you pay for a service, and you should expect to get something in return and increase your personal value. Unfortunately, a lot of these people that are out there, they don't increase your value. They lie to you. On top of that, and it is what it is. It sucks. What do I think of Inner Circle Trader? That guy is like an actual scammer. Uh, you can. There's a good channel. I'm in trading. I'm just gonna type it in right now. I'm in trading. That guy, I'm in trading. He has like a full video on what a fraud that guy is. So go type in I'm in trading ICT and go watch that video, and then come back to me. Um, if you think ICT is real, I've tried it. I've tried it and it's fake. And believe me, bro, I've been working professionally in this space for like 7, 8 years. the real guys don't trade like that. So, um, at least not on a daily time frame or a lower time frame than the daily charts. So, um, yeah, I don't believe. I mean, listen, if it works for you, if you're making money doing it, and it works, do it. Like I'm not like gonna like knock the strategy, but I've tried it. I lost money doing it. I tried it some more. I lost more money doing it, and I was just like, yeah, I tried it, didn't work, and I found value elsewhere. I think the real value in the stock market is patience and like just analyzing a trade before you even enter into it, and instead of looking at the charts, like if you watch my videos explaining my strategy, like I literally can close up this trading view app and never use it again and still be profitable. Like I don't need a chart to trade. All I need is an Excel sheet and just data sources. And I could just run through that data and find an edge in that data. And that's why if you look up jobs like, you know, jobs in finance that make a lot of money, a lot of times it's for data scientists, quantitative analysts, pretty much guys that are pretty good at math and statistics, because that's where you could find value. Um, you like I've been in the finance accounting realm professionally for many years. I have not once seen someone use a chart going, "Oh, there's this bottom wick at 680 is going to be a great area to buy." Like that's not how it works at all. Um, at least not in the long run. But listen, like I tried it, I didn't like it, and the guy ICT himself is a scammer, and there's plenty of proof out there. But like, if you tell me like, hey, this strategy's working for me and I'm making money, like, good, like keep doing it. Um, new strategies are created every single day. But it's kind of scary how ICT guys that like believe in it. It's almost like a cult, a cult file following, and yeah, I'd rather just like avoid the whole ICT conversation because it may just hurt me more than help. Um, and anyways, I don't see any value of ICT uh, with my own trading. I do believe in levels and all that stuff and volume, and I believe in all that stuff, but I take it with a huge grain of salt. Um, my strategy that I use is more of a fundamental way of looking at things, human behavior. I look at seasonal trends, right? Like if you're gonna be an ice cream shop owner, when do you think your best sales are gonna be? Which time of the year? During the warmer months. Like you're gonna make more money when it's hot out because that's when people want ice cream. And it's supply and demand. That's all the stock market is. It's supply and demand. And that supply and demand is driven by human behavior and humans' wants and or needs. So, and the greatest thing is you don't have to be a genius to figure it out. And you can use simple ways of looking at data, such as seasonality, to identify those human behaviors. Can Slim O'Neill a beater system? I don't know what that is. Nvidia briefly surpasses Amazon in market value. Really? Oh yeah, look at that. Growth stocks. Growth stocks, yeah. I like most of my trades are focused on growth stocks, especially with options. With options, you need that volatility with options, right? Like you could enter an options trade, hold it for 30 days, and it goes up 2% over the course of a month. But depending on the implied volatility and the theta and the duration, the Greeks, you lose money, even though the stock went up. So that's why you have to have a stock that can move enough in the money that you make a profit that's worthwhile. That's why I can look at a stock that looks great as far as seasonality goes and the charts and the trend and the fundamental basis of the business. But the back testing is where I really find out if it's worthwhile. I've shown a couple examples on my streams where you have a stock that looks great and it looks like it's a great trade to put on for the month. And once you start back testing the previous years for a particular month, it ends up being a crapshoot, and you're better off just moving on to something else. Um, like I don't believe in marrying a certain stock. There's people like that like marry an asset and like hold on to it for dear life, forever, and that's okay, I guess sometimes. But I think you got to be willing to move around and be dynamic in a market to really make good money. Palantir's turned profitable. Yeah, I think they've been going up for a while, right? Oh wow, 30%. I didn't even look at their earnings, but nice 30% increase. Nice. Palantir is an interesting one because they do a lot of stuff with the government and military, and you don't really know what they're doing because a lot of stuff that government, private government partnership type stuff, a lot of secrets. Um, that's why you have like Nancy Pelosi. She probably bought like call options on this stock. Probably made a bajillion dollars last week. We can look at I want to see something. Let's go look at the seasonality for Palantir. The only thing with the stock is it's only been around for a few years, so um like I like to have at least like 7, 8 years of data to base my decisions off of or conclusions. Anything less, it's kind of a gamble. Um, like all the stocks that I back tested, they were already performing the same way, like for the past 20 years. Um, so there's definitely a recurring pattern. Yeah. So like, all right. So Palantir typically goes up in June a lot, but does well in March too. So it's probably just getting started here. I think March will be a good month for Palantir. I mean, listen, it's been chopping around here for a little bit, right? So you came up, you kind of topped out in July 2023, and you gyrated for just oscillated until now. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 6, 7 months. And now you're finally getting some headway, and now you're into another area of resistance, right? So we'll see how it goes. I mean, Palantir, I'm pretty sure is on that AI wave too. Are they into the AI? I think they are. They probably are. So, but that's great that they're finally profitable. Can Slim, also known as Can Slim, is an investment method developed by William J. O'Neill. Combines fundamental and technical analysis to identify stocks with strong growth potential. Yeah. Well, the stocks that I pick, like, they are always fundamentally strong. They're profitable, right? They have positive earnings. They have a PE ratio. I mean, when a company's not profitable, they won't have a PE ratio. I look at their beta, right? So I'm looking at their past volatility as far compared to the S&P, right? So, and then once I look at all of that and I look at their seasonality, as of course, right? I don't want to go into a stock that typically goes down for a certain month. Like I'm just wasting my time and just creating more risk for myself, right? I'm always trying to reduce my risk as far as the stock's previous performance. Um, Now that doesn't always work, but most of the time it does. Um, and then after I do my fundamental analysis and my seasonal analysis, then I'll look at the charts. And then on top of that, I'll still back test the options data to see if there's profitability within the options chain. Because you can have a stock that looks great, and again, you have IV crush, you have theta, you don't select the right duration, and you lose money or you make no money. Like you're better off just buying Apple stock and holding it for 20 years and just go play golf. She actually bought calls on Nvidia in the beginning of the year. I mean, listen, Nvidia, buying calls on Nvidia for like any month is usually, right now, it's been a good play. Let me show you why. This is Nvidia on a monthly chart, right? Let's say at the beginning of each candle for the month, I bought a call option, right? So let's say starting with January 2023, I bought a call option. Guess what? If I bought that call option at the beginning of January, it went up 33%. The underlying went up 33%. Same thing for February, right? I just keep rolling a call option for each month. So if you did that for like the past, since like January 2023, you just bought a call option at the beginning of each month and then sold it at the end of the month, you would have made like crazy returns. And that's still true right now. I mean, like right now we're up 20% for the month. And that's saying something too, because how many days are we? We're 12 days into the month, barely halfway into the month, and we're up 20%. So buying call options on a stock that's growing like this is a pretty safe bet. And of course, when you have a down month like 11% down, or you have a flatter month like let's say here on April, you're pretty much flat, negative 0.10%. You know, yeah, you're gonna lose money on those months, but the risk to reward and the win rate is awesome right here. And you can look back, starting from 2019, right? Like same thing. Like 15% gain, 7% gain, 8% gain, 14% gain, 10% gain, 21% gain. I mean, like a 21% underlying gain is a lot. Like that's pretty much where we're at right now. Like we're up 20% right now. Look at what my Nvidia call options at 288% gain. So it just shows you that you don't have to be a freaking genius to make money in the markets. And you're better off just looking at things from far away. That's why so many people they'll buy leaps and do well with leaps because you're letting time work to your advantage. That's why I love swing trading because you let time do the work for you. With day trading and scalping, ICT, those methods of trading, it's not even trading, it's really gambling because the market is so random at that time frame. You're just playing with fire. I mean, if you had to do anything other than swing trade or scalp or day trade, it would be long-term investing. And why does long-term investing usually work for most people, right? If you just consistently put money into the S&P 500 year over year and let it grow, why does it work? Well, it works because you're letting time do the work for you. Time in the markets they always beat timing the markets. So that's why swing trading is so great, is because you get the best of both worlds with swing trading. You're not necessarily timing the markets, and you're also giving the trade time to work. Like, money is not created quickly overnight. I mean, it can be. It is. But over the long run, you have to be more patient. You have to have intentions with your trades instead of just going, "Oh my god, this price just hit $100 this morning. I'm going to buy it and hold it for a half hour." Like, that's usually, like, for you to do something like that, you have to be really good. And by the way, a lot of the day trading strategies have gone away over the past like 20 years. The past 20 years, even like since like pretty much a dot-com bubble, day trading itself has gone to the wayside as far as like institutions go and like hedge funds. Um, the day trading scalping stuff is kind of long gone because the algorithms and computers have taken over everything as far as the day-to-day actions go with trading. A lot of these computer algorithms that trade, um, they're trading on the behalf of large investors that have a lot of money, and they have to slowly layer into the markets throughout the day or throughout a week. You can't just take $1 billion and throw it into Nvidia stock and expect it to fill right away. Like, that's not how the markets work. There's always a seller for a buyer, and there's always a buyer for a seller. Um, Supply and demand. So there are legit traders that make money day trading. Not many of them, but there are some pros. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I've yet to meet a real one, but yeah, swing trading. And here's the other thing: if I were still trying to day trade, I would not be able to do the other things I'm doing, like working full time, going to school, living a social life. The benefit of swing trading is you can make the same, usually, let's be honest, you make more money swing trading. You make the same, if not more, swing trading while having the luxury to walk away from your desk and go outside or run a business, another business, Um, you have that luxury. With day trading, you don't. You have to sit there and watch the charts. Like, yeah, you could set alerts, but like, come on, let's be honest. Like, most people that are trying to day trade and scalp are sitting at the computer and waiting. Um, and another really like, I don't really like when people do this, but they're like, oh, like, my goal is to make $100 a day. That's, if you're going that way about trading, even swing trading, but if you're going that way about swing trading or any type of trading, like, oh, I want to make $100 a day, that's not a good mindset to have at all. You shouldn't have that mindset. Like, when I put on my trades for the month, my swing trades, I don't know what the results are going to be. I do have, there's three results I'm going to get. I'm either going to make money, I'm going to break even, or I'm going to lose money. That's it. Those are the three results that can only happen with my trade for a swing trade. So with that being said, yeah, I put on a trade with the intentions of making money, but I know I'm going to lose eventually. And with that being said, I manage my risk correctly and I follow my back testing and data. I trust in my data 100%. And I stay patient. That's it. It's really, trading is It's funny. It's the most complicated, simple thing. It's such a complicated, simple thing to do. Um, I've made a lot of money in the markets, equities, crypto, options, and I've lost a lot of money in the markets, crypto, equities, and options. And each time I lost money in the markets, it's because I was day trading. I was trying to time the markets within a day or within a couple days, right? When I switched to swing trading and long-term investing, I've always made money. And I've always made a lot of money doing it that way. So I highly recommend people just stay away from day trading and scalping. It's the hardest way to make easy money. It's it's the hardest way to yeah. Well, if anything, it's the hardest way to lose money, or the easiest way to lose money. Ugh, I know what you mean. Um, really, like for me, like at this point where I'm at with my trading, it's a psychological game. It's that, oh my god, like right now, I'm up 280% on this Nvidia position, right? I'm up $8,164 in profit as we speak. I'm up $1,300 today alone on Nvidia. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I should really sell this. I should just take the profit and run. But I'm not going to do that. And the reason is because I've done enough back testing and I've gone through my own data enough to realize that you're better off just following your trade plan, right? And my trade plan is opening up my trade, entering my trade on the last day of the month, and holding it for the full 30, 31 days and closing it on the last day of the month, right? And simply following that system generates awesome returns, mind-boggling returns. And that's it. And it's like, don't try to do anything cute. Don't try to do anything fancy, right? And yeah, there's going to be times where, like right now, this position I'm in for Nvidia earnings can come out. Let me put my lines back on my chart here. There we go. Nvidia earnings can come out on the 21st, right? Next week. Is that next week? Yeah, next Wednesday. And Nvidia gets smoked, goes down 15%. Well, that's it. Like, okay. Like, that's the risk I assumed. Like, my risk is already managed. The money I put into my trade at the beginning of the month, I intend to lose 100% of that money. Like, you have to have that mindset. I don't use stop loss. My stop loss is my risk. That's just for options, right? Like if you're trading equities like shares or using futures, then yes, you have to use stop losses in those cases. But options contracts are, as far as buying a long put or a long call, those options are already the risk is already managed within those options because you can only lose what you put into that contract. Now, if you sell options, that's a different animal. Don't get confused between the two. But I go in with that mindset, and having that mindset on top of my data and psychology put together, it has made me an incredibly profitable trader over the and importantly over the long run, not over a couple months or a couple years. I'm talking like a decade, couple decades, even more. Right? Like that's what made me that's what's making me profitable. So, like I highly recommend you guys like do your own research, do your own analysis, learn Excel, learn calculations, learn about backtesting, create your own ideas. Like you may not like something that I do. If you don't like something that I do, then go ahead and say, "Okay, I like this idea of mine better." Test it. If the numbers make sense, like the numbers have to make sense. If the numbers do not make sense, run away from it because you're just going to waste your time and you're going to lose money. You know, the percentage gain, the return, the risk, that's the bottom line. Like that's where you're either going to be a winner in this game or a loser. So you're determined to hold the position through earnings. Yep, I am. Just like I did with Netflix. And if you're not comfortable with that, if you're holding a position and you're going into earnings and you're not comfortable with it, and you really and usually the reason why you're not comfortable with it is because you have too much risk on the table. That's the reason why. Right? Like let's say let me put this into perspective for a moment. Let's say this trade I'm in right now only cost me $1 to get in. $1 to most people is nothing, right? We spend $1 the moment we wake up in the morning, right? We spend $1 just by having a Netflix subscription for a month, right? Like let's say it's $30 a month for Netflix. You're paying $1 per day. Most people wouldn't bat an eye at that. So if you're willing, let's say my position's $1 and that $1 of risk is super low compared to my total net worth, I'm going to have no problem holding that trade throughout the entire month. Whether there's earnings, whatever, I'm twisting my tongue here. Whether there's earnings or volatile events going on, you know, you're comfortable with the risk. You have to have that mindset. Like if your risk is managed and you intend to follow your plan, and your plan is created based off of back testing and data, you're going to do awesome. Like you're going to do awesome. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They don't want to do that kind of work. They'd rather just stare at this chart and go, oh, look at this top wick. Oh, okay. I'm going to get in. I'm going to sell once we get back up to 745. That's not how the market works. Like, yeah, there are price levels. And yeah, there are times when volume's higher at a certain price level. Like, yeah, you can kind of get some information using that, but you have to embrace the uncertainty in the market. And I said this before, if you embrace the uncertainty and manage your risk and follow your data, you're going to be fine. And the psychology also, like there's going to be times if people keep following me and I keep putting out content, you're going to see me lose money. You're going to see me lose 2-3 months in a row. And it is what it is. But my psychology is not looking at the next quarter or the next 6 months. My way of thinking is how much money can I make over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? This is a long game. Can I make $15 million over the next, 15 or not even 8 years? Can I do it? My back testing says I can. So let's do it. Let's try it. What is there to lose? What is there to lose besides the initial capital I put on the table? And I let that initial capital grow. Now I'm just playing with the market's money, which is also not a good mindset sometimes to have. But again, like this is just the way I think. It just turns into a numbers game. You don't have attachment to that money. It's just more of this is my risk and this is the probability and this is the reward. Let's do it. See it differently. If your initial risk was say $500 and your position is now worth $10,000, then if you close it and hold it, you would now be risking an entire $10,000. It's your money. Yes. Yeah. But here's the thing though. And yes, you are right. And like, if I had a $500 position and went up to $10,000, I'd probably be closing it. Just because I know that a gain like that is extremely abnormal, right? Like it's off the plot chart as far as my data and backtesting goes. But what I mean by my risk to reward is that I'm not closing my trade at 100% gain, right? Like I don't put a price target. I let the amount of time I'm in the trade decipher when I get it in and out of the trade, right? Like I put on a trade and I say, all right, I'm holding this trade for 30 days. And the reason why I do that is if I look at like a monthly chart, like if you look back, like this is Nvidia. It's a little biased, right? Because Nvidia's been doing well, but like if I put on a trade at the beginning of February 2023, let's say last year, and it went up 18% in 1 month. I mean that's an awesome return. And yeah, like you can have situations where it goes up 18% and then 2 weeks later it dumps. But my intentions with this strategy is to trade to trade the full body candle. That's what I'm doing. I'm not looking to make a certain percentage gain within a particular amount of time. Like I just put on the trade, look at the probability, the risk and reward historically, and that's it. Just let it run. Embrace the uncertainty. Don't try to get fancy with it. Simple is better. Like I've tried complicated ways of trading, really complicated ways of trading. And the problem is you create so many variables for yourself with certain strategies that you actually hurt yourself and you lose money. I think that's why most people lose money trading is because they just overcomplicate things. Whether it be using like a moving average or anything, instead of just looking at the market objectively. Like looking at a monthly chart and saying, like an objective way of looking at the market is going, hey, yeah, you know what? The market goes down, the market goes up. But objectively, if I put on a call option at the beginning of one of these big candles before they happen, because they do happen, like you can look back, they do happen. And yeah, there's periods of time when it doesn't happen. And that's where I use seasonality because seasonality it supercharges the strategy of holding monthly. You know, if you just look at the market objectively, like what if I put on a trade and held it for one of these monthly candles and we had a return of 18%? My results would be great. That's a way better way. It is a better way to look at the markets rather than going, oh my God, let's go on to a 5-minute chart or hell, even like a daily chart and saying, okay, I'm going to buy this bottom wick or I'm going to buy this moving average or, you know, I'm going to buy this volume candle. You know, I like to just set up a plan and go with it, right? Like you should be able to write down your trade plan on a piece of paper. I enter on this day, I sell on this day. I hold for this amount of days, and you're trading a particular time frame. That's all you're doing. You could take this strategy and lower the duration, right? I can go to let's say like a 25 DTE or an 18 DTE and say, okay, I'm going to put on a trade and hold it for 1 day. Because if I look back at the daily chart of Nvidia, there's bound to be an up day. And if there is an update, I can make good money on an options contract. Instead of looking at, okay, we're at the 565 level. All right, are we going to go up or down? I don't know. Well, I think it's going to go down, so I'm going to put on a put option. Instead of just saying, hey, you know what? Nvidia goes up over time. I'm going to put on a call option and hold it for a couple days and see what happens. You know, you kind of got to go into you're not going into the trade blindly because you're using probabilities whenever. And that's why I don't recommend buying put options because the market, especially growth stocks and the top stocks, they trend up over time. Right? Like if I pull up Nvidia or if I pull up, let's say S&P 500 on a yearly chart, this is each of these candles are 12 months. What is the market doing most of the time? There's only a red candle here and there. Most of the time the market's going up. So why the hell would you be playing with puts? I mean, you gotta put probability on your side. As long as you have the probability and the risk to reward, you're good. Well, you're not good. Then you got to do more work. You got to back test and actually do the homework. But a lot of this trading stuff, it really comes down to psychology. But like what I just told you guys right there, like most people don't understand that concept, especially traders. Well, trading gurus, I should say. They won't tell you this sort of stuff. But real traders, this is how they think. And that's why you always hear risk management, follow your plan, patience. That's where this all comes from. Look at the market objectively. You know, technical analysis is BS. You know, I still look at technical analysis because I like to look at I like to look at data visualized. It's a great way to look at data, but it's not the end all be all, and it shouldn't be your basis of trading. You know, if charts were so great and technical analysis was so easy, everyone would be making money left and right. So that's my rant. Thanks for listening. I'm gonna eat a muffin. Switching gears a little bit here. Bitcoin just went over $50,000. Just got a notification. So, well, it actually hit 50,000 at around 11 o'clock. That's good. Bitcoin is coming back up. Man, I don't know if any of you are in the trade desk trade, but kind of jealous. I kind of wish I got in on this one. I think it's flying right now. 6%. Trade desk likely to see revenue acceleration. So you see how, like, if we look at trade desk on my seasonal chart, let's go look it up. There's a reason why I use seasonalities because certain stocks do better at certain times of the year because of things like this revenue reacceleration, right? So now, basically, the price is going up is because the big money thinks, and remember, this is big money moving this stock right now. Big money thinks that demand is coming back. And if you look at seasonal trends here, trade desk goes up 100% of the time in February. Well, it's living up to that statistic currently. Now we do have earnings. We'll see how earnings come out. But like we can look at last year. What did Trade Desk do for last year with their earnings? They went up 32%. Hell, I may even put on like a little lotto play with Trade Desk because these options are really cheap. I may actually put on a trade right now. Yep. Yep, Trade Desk. Yep, these are all growth stocks. But like here's the thing. Trade Desk is a profitable company. Look at their earnings. Look at their PE ratio. Very high PE ratio, but they're profitable. They're making money. Right? You can look at their revenue, right? Net income. They have net income, right? Net margin. They're a profitable company. So fundamentally, they're good. They're a fundamentally good company. I'm not saying they're awesome. I'm not saying they're super strong. I'm not saying they're better than whatever company you can compare it to. But it's not a penny stock. It's not a small cap that has a great quarter and then has a bad quarter. That's why this is a stock that I was willing to recommend. But let's go look at Trade Desk. Because I kind of want to play its earnings. We have earnings coming up on February 15th. Right here. And what do we got on the options chain? We could buy a pretty cheap call. You know what would be really smart to do is sell one of my Fortinet shares. Because I bought 2 Fortinet contracts. Sell one of these, take some profit, and then roll some of that profit into Trade Desk. So my risk is actually lower, but whichever way you perceive it. But I would probably just go in with new money here because it's such a cheap option already. But this would just be like a quick play. Just put on the trade and see what happens. And let's go see. Let's go open up options calculator. Now we're going to be dealing with IV crush here. But if we do get a good enough move, and you could see from last year, Trade Desk on earnings shot up 32%. And seasonally, this time of the year, the earnings do better. Might see something similar. See, this is how I think a little bit. You guys are starting to see how I'm thinking objectively. I'm willing to put on some risk, and I'm going to let the trade... I almost cursed. I'm just going to let the trade run. Now, really, the right way to approach this was to follow the way I usually trade and put on the trade back on January 31st. So you buy deep into that discount. You actually lower your risk by doing that. Potentially lower your risk. But I'm kind of willing to put on a little auto play here. But I want to see which contract. So if we're reporting on the 15th, we'd have 1, 2, 3. 3 days. Let's look at the theta on this. So the thetas are on $17. So we're talking about $45 in theta decay. The spreads aren't bad. It's only about $15. So we're probably gonna be down if the position runs flat. We're gonna be down about $70, $75, maybe $65, somewhere around there. It's only pretty cheap. I'd probably go with like a 45 delta. I like to go a few. I like to go around that like 50 to 45 delta area. That's the sweet spot in my opinion. Man, I'm really liking this thing. See, the best thing to do is to, if I really want to play earnings on this, is to wait Tuesday, Wednesday, and get in between tomorrow and the next day on a down candle, buy into a discount, which can help you a lot. But I'm swing trading this. I'm not really trying to pinch pennies here. So let's see. Let's go to TTD. And let's say we're looking at, I would go with like a March 1st contract. I think that would be appropriate. Again, like I don't want to go too close to the money because then the theta is going to be way too high. I want to stay a little bit out of the money. If anything, maybe like the 25 duration, 25 DT, maybe a little bit smarter. It's around the same price to get in, to like $20 difference, but the theta is like 4 cents less per day. And you also got that duration. Also, what's the IV looking like? IV is jacked up. Yeah, I think we're better off going with the 25. I'm going to go with the 25. Let's go with the 25. So what's that, March 8th? Looking at a 79. I'm just using options calculator. This is a great site to look at your potential gain or loss. So again, like earnings are what? The 15th? And I would be selling this. If I were going to buy and sell this, it would be done. Sorry, I was reading the email. I would probably be selling this on Friday. So the 16th. So what I do is I just like to put this date range to 02/16. Right. So the only way I can lose money on this is if it goes down or if we don't go up. Well, we also have IV change. We can also look at the IV. So now that's the next thing I'm going to look at. Let's go to charts. I want to see this IV going back. Yeah, so IV's definitely spiked up here. We can look at. Can I go back anymore? I can't. See the IV spiked here. So IV dropped, let's see, it went from about 85 down to 59. So it went from pretty much ending 65, beginning 85. Is that what I said? Or no, 60. 60 minus 85 divided by 85. So 25 drop, 25% drop in IV crush. I'm just calculating for IV crush here, because that's going to happen once earnings come out. So I will put that into my IV change. We'll put this down to like, and I'll be conservative too. I'll put this down to like 30%. So let's see. We would have to have, for me to make money on this contract, assuming IV crush is about, I don't know, let's see. Let's actually just do 25. Yeah. We'd have to have an increase in price of like 4%. And then as far as the gains go, I'll put the range up to like 100. Let's say we have like a 20% increase by the 16th, right? We'd be selling on the 16th. 20% increase, you'd be looking at about 172% gain. So the risk to reward is kind of there. And this is why I like buying before earnings, because IV continues. So this trade's probably too far gone for me. I'm not going to take this trade. It'll probably be a good trade, but I'm not going to do it. I just don't feel comfortable with it. I feel like it's a little too gambly at this point, especially after a move like today. If I were going to get into this trade, it probably would have been last week. Really, it would have been like the 31st of January. That's when I usually enter into my trades. At this point, if I bought in down here, my risk would be so low. It would be a lot lower because I'm in the money now. But, yeah, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Would have been a good trade, though. I think it would have been a good trade. And what we can do is look back on this in a few days from now and see what the results would have been. But you see, that's how I analyze, right? Like I know earnings are gonna come in. It's like, all right, earnings they're gonna do three things, just like any trade does. You're gonna go up, you're gonna break even, or you're gonna go down. Now, another thing, like let's analyze the rest of earnings here. Let's see if I can be persuaded to enter this trade. Earnings last time, you had a drop of 16%. Earnings back here, you had a drop of 4%. Earnings back here, looks like you had a pop up in price. Let's see, let's go measure this. 4% increase. And then February, you had a 32% increase. So let's go look at a previous February, because that's the particular month we're trading here. Yeah, so this February didn't really do much. This is definitely a stock that you're better off swing trading instead of playing earnings on. 6%. So, again, it's always a gamble, but I mean the statistics are there. Earnings didn't come out until here. Made a 14% gain. Yeah. I would advise not doing this trade. And if I were gonna do it, I would have been in it already as a swing trade. So, nope. too much implied volatility risk. That's really the biggest risk, right? And that's where a lot of people get deceived here. If I set this to 0, I mean, like, people would have been, oh, it only has to go up 10%, and I make up. No. If the stock went up 10%, you'd be making less because of IV crush. IV crush is your worst enemy. It's worse than theta. Keeping it simple. Just going to stick with my 2 little trades for the month. Let her play out. So again, I wanted to, if any of you just joined in the past half hour or so, I want to let you guys know about something. I was talking about it earlier, but my Discord community, my Discord, is starting to experience some scammers in the realm. Basically, I had a scammer come in last night and start direct messaging some people, particularly a couple of my friends. If you guys don't know, a couple of my friends are in the Discord, and they always keep an eye on things if nefarious activities are occurring, such as scammers. And they DM'd a few of my friends, and of course we trolled the scammers back pretty good. They could be watching right now for all I know. But basically I'm coming to a point where I may have to put up a paywall to deflect such scammers. And of course the people who are in the Discord right now, or have been, I'm not going to charge you guys if you guys get in. So basically what I'm saying right now is, as I keep streaming, I'm just going to try to get the free guys in. I don't want to charge you guys, but unfortunately, for any newer people, I'm going to have to charge to be a member of the Discord, because I don't want to deal with scammers and potentially have someone lose money because of my Discord. And plus, me charging you guys, I would probably make my content exclusive as far as my ideas for each month. I'd give it to you guys only. And then once the month passes, once the few days passes by for the trade idea, then I would come out publicly with it on YouTube. So I'll still stream on YouTube, still give out my content for free and my ideas for free. But if you want that exclusive, priority, you'd have to get it from the Discord community. But I'm not doing it yet. I'm not pulling the trigger on it yet. I'm going to continue doing the things I have been doing so far. But unfortunately, I'm getting to a point where the scammers are overrunning the channel. And the only way to really combat them and beat them back is to put up a paywall. And it sucks. So yeah. I could try to think of a different way to get you guys in. My goal with this channel is not to make money, and I think I could try to formulate a different way so that new members can come in for free, but keep the scammers out. So I'm gonna try to figure something else out. My last decision is to put up a paywall. But I'm gonna try a couple other things I think first before I put up a paywall to see if that solves the issue with scammers. So that's where we are right now. And yeah. So I'm gonna hop off here, guys. I'm gonna go eat lunch, and I gotta finish up my day at work. So thanks for watching. I hope you all are doing well this month so far. Having a great month. I'm gonna try to stream more consistently too. So yeah, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Join the Discord. It's completely free, of course. And yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe, bell notifications, so you're notified whenever I get on stream. My streaming schedule is completely messed up, so I always get on at random times and random days. So, and of course, you can always watch my streams in the future. Playback. I post all my streams up on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch them. And that's it. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch up with you soon, and peace.